it's going to be a decision that's going to be made very soon.
And do you have full confidence in your national security advisor?
Yes, I do. General McMaster? Yeah, absolutely. He's our friend. He's my friend, and he's a very talented man. I like him, and I respect him.
McMasters. Yeah, you got to see some video first before I started talking. Very happy to have Trump like him. I don't like him. But let's be honest about this and look at it with a nice eye. Now, he's gated. Pence is gated. Trump is closed off. Sensitive information hanging around. Of course, you don't want to let it out. So, of course, they're all watching themselves.
Pre-dawn.
I thought it was a very, very strong signal or whatever. I know Mr. Manafort. I haven't spoken to him in a long time, but I know him. He was with the campaign, as you know, for a very short period of time, relatively short period of time, but I've always known him to be a good man. I thought it was a very, they do that very seldom. So I was surprised to see it. I was very, very surprised to see it.
Have you spoken
We
to the
haven't
FBI
really been
director
involved.
about it?
Excuse me?
Have you spoken to the FBI director about it or the?
No, I have
Attorney
not.
General?
I have not. But to do that early in the morning, whether or not it was appropriate, you'd have to ask them. I've always found Paul Manafort to be a very decent man. And he's like a lot of other people, probably makes consultant fees from all over very seldom. So I was surprised to see it. I was very, very surprised to see it.
Have you spoken?
Sitting there watching McMasters as he's talking about this. Slight frown on both corners of his mouth. Looking this direction. Looks like he's actually looking at Pence and not Trump.
So I was surprised to see it. I was very, very surprised to see it.
Have you spoken?
It's a nervous look.
We
to the
haven't
FBI
really been
director
involved.
about it?
Excuse me?
Have you spoken to the FBI director about it or the?
No, I
Attorney
have
General?
not. I have not.
And he's searching logic, memory. Go back and look at that again.
About it?
Excuse me?
Have you spoken to the FBI director about it or the?
Not
Director about
involved.
it?
Excuse me?
Have you spoken to the FBI director about it or the?
No, I have
Attorney
not.
General?
Logic, visual memory, and an auditory memory when he goes into spoken to the FBI director about it.
I have not. But to do that early in the morning, whether or not
And then he goes gated, closed off, and is a pretty tight gated.
it was appropriate, you'd have to ask them. I've always found Paul Manafort to be a very decent man. And he's like a lot of other people, probably makes consultant fees from all over the place. Who knows?
Tight-lipped, very tight. What is going on, McMasters? So much stress over an FBI raid.
I don't know. But I thought that was a very, that was pretty tough stuff.
Mr. President,
To wake him up, perhaps his family was there. I think that's pretty tough stuff.
Mr. President, speaking of the Attorney General,
Oh, but Pence. Let's see what Pence does.
Wake him up, perhaps his family was there. I think that's pretty tough stuff.
Mr. President, speaking of the Attorney General, how would you categorize your relationship currently?
Very political. And I mean that in the typical politician way. Apparently, there's no guilt that weighs on his mind, but something weighs on McMaster's mind.
We're down 78% at the border, and nobody thought that was possible. So I'm very proud of General Kelly. He's now Chief of Staff. At the same time,
He is stressed, McMasters.
I'm very proud of what we've done over the last 6 months between Supreme Court, between tremendous.
I don't know who he's signaling to as far as his friend in the audience. That's what that was. It wasn't some kind of occult signal. He was looking at somebody.
I don't like to signal what I'm going to be doing, but we are certainly looking at it. And obviously, we're spending a lot of time looking at, in particular,
He does not agree with whatever's going on. That head down movement, watch.
we are certainly looking at it. And obviously, we're spending a lot of time.
Grimace, certainly looking at it. So there is going to be military action, or whatever that question was. Yes, on the whole Asian and military thing. Let's go back further.
Looking at it right now. We're constantly looking at it. I don't like to signal what I'm going to be doing, but we are certainly looking at it. And obviously, we're spending a lot of time looking at, in particular,
So they are.
North Korea. And we are preparing for many different alternative events at North Korea. If he has disrespected our country greatly, he has said things that are horrific. And with me, he's not getting away with it. He got away with it for a long time between him and his family. He's not getting away with it. It's a whole new ballgame.
I don't think Nick Masters is completely on board with this, and we see Pence as he talks about it.
Preparing for many different alternative events at North Korea. He has disrespected our country greatly. He has said things.
Shaking his head, yes. McMaster's, on the other hand, just like Haley in the other video, no head shakes. Nothing. He's not in agreement. And for whatever reason, he's not in agreement with Trump. I think I've beat this horse, and it's not getting back up. It's dead. I'm going to watch this a little longer, see if McMasters gives any other clues. If not, it'll just be ended.
Yeah, sure, we're looking. We're always looking. You have two leaks. You have the leaks coming out of intelligence and various departments having to do with Syria, having to do with all sorts of different places, having to do, frankly, with North Korea. And those are very serious. And then you have the leaks where people want to love me, and they're all fighting for love. Those are not very important, but certainly we don't like them. Those are little inner White House leaks. They're not very important, but actually I'm somewhat honored by them. But the important leaks to me, and the leaks that the Attorney General is looking at very...
He's smiling on that one. McMaster's smiling on that one. Let's study that one. You know, I find it funny. I rewatched that part many times. Priebus knew who the leaker was. Kelly knew who the leaker was. McMaster's, when it comes up, I would expect for him to get to a visual thing of who the leaker was, just like everyone else. But no, auditory memory, logical memory, and then a doing memory. I find that interesting. All right, we're going to cut this off here. If you like it, leave a like. If you like the content, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.